Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Paul's Monday Market Update number 225 for Monday, 1st of June 2026. We're back after a few weeks away. I was up in the Highlands of Scotland, driving around there, and of course, then we had the Whitsun holiday here. I hope you are all well. I hope you've enjoyed a good couple of weeks. I hope you're ready for the start of a new month and what undoubtedly will be another interesting week and an interesting month and an interesting quarter in an interesting year. Um, if you're joining us for the first time, the Monday Market Update is just that. It is me flying through as much as I can share with you over the next 25 to 30 minutes, looking at strength and weakness within FX indices and commodities markets, taking a look at a few charts of interest that you might want to add to your watch list, and then having a look at live markets. It is not a signal service, it's not trade recommendations, it is just me sharing with you what I'm looking at the moment, which might be of relevance or of interest to yourselves. As always, you are very welcome here, but just remember that you are always responsible for your own trading decisions. And if you want a little bit more deeper help and support in your own trading, you can join the VTP Trader Accountability Group, which is all about building discipline, accountability, and consistency in your trading business. You can use that QR code there, okay, or as the bit.ly code there, or just ping me if you've got any questions about joining us for that. The thing is with Bitcoin and gold and silver, of course, a lot of that is to do with, well, what do people think is going to happen with the dollar? All right, are we going to get a little bit more return to normal with the dollar, or is it still just going to basically play itself out as that risk on or risk off character again? In which case, the geopolitical elements of the US Iran elements causes the issues. So here I've got Aussie on the daily, Euro on the daily, cable on the daily, dollar Swiss, Kiwi dollar, dollar CAD, dollar yen, and then the dollar index. Okay, so the dollar index is the monthly. We're the first of the month, so let's just start. We'll have a little look at that. That's the monthly chart. Now, that's a bullish inside bar in the monthly, which was the second inside bar because previous month, okay, was also an inside bar. So to me, I look at that. That is price coiling up. It's tightening up. All right, okay, getting ready. It's coiling up, getting ready to make its move. Where is it going to get it to make its move? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Okay, my own view is I think 100 is going to be tapped again. Whether that is just the pump before the dump, all right, or whether we're going to get something that blows us, up above 100 and the monthly 20, we shall wait and see. I want to go down to the weekly chart. Well, you can see for yourself, there's been lots of swings here, okay? And a lot of that is a reflection of the kind of, war on, war off, that we've been undergoing for most of this year, okay? You can see, what war is on, war is off, war is on, war is off. All right, that's what we're working with, all right? And your guess is as good as mine. Going down to the daily chart, I was looking at this and saying, well, actually, was this a kind of a nice double bottom that had been forming? We're certainly sat above the kind of 50 there, aren't we? But if you look at that for the last couple of weeks, it's not exactly exciting price action there, is it? Everybody's just kind of sat waiting. Everybody's bored. Everybody's fed up of this kind of war on, war off day by day. People just want resolution, all right? I think they've kind of, as I said, I think they've kind of priced it in. Everyone's fed up with that and they've just gone back to start to focus on the US economy. So, my view would be the daily 50, if that continues to hold, that would be for me, then I'd be looking at us going to 100. But as I said, maybe that's the pump before the dump. I don't know, but maybe this double bottom, is I can't give you any real good, clear, sort of direction of just looking at that kind of, as I said, that bullish monthly inside bar. You would be looking at that as a kind of a bullish move first. And maybe that will be the kind of drift back to 100. So watch and shoot, ladies and gentlemen, watch and shoot. When you look at that on the flip side, okay, we'll just have a quick look, a couple of the dollar pairs, and then we'll do Canadian dollar and sterling, euro dollar, okay. I mean, if you look at euro dollar on the weekly chart, it's as exciting as the dollar index, isn't it? It's just not really getting very excited. I suppose maybe what I'd look at is price. The 20 and the 50 are a little bit coiled up there, okay? A little bit coiled up there on the euro dollar. Daily chart. You might say, well, Paul, actually, there's more of a double bottom on the euro dollar here, okay? And I wouldn't fight you on that. I'd say then you're in a little bit of a block there, a little bit of a double bottom, which would mean, we'd want to see euro pushing here. And if that was to happen, well, then that to me is a reflection that, that is kind of a war off risk on move, isn't it? So you've got the daily 200 and the daily 50. If we get above them, that to me is kind of a war off risk on. All right, but just remember, okay, we just looked at the stam there. The euro is at the bottom of the stam now. All right, so there's that would mean a big turnaround. Okay, a big turnaround. Something kind of important to basically to come out to sort of to show us that, to give us that move. Certainly, if we look at dollar Swiss. All right. So, the dollar and against the Swiss here, and this is on the daily, you can see the 200 period moving average, all right, has acted as really nice resistance, the dynamic resistance, hasn't it? As it's kind of every time it's come up there, it's dropped. Every time it's come up, it's dropped. Every time it's come up, it's dropped. Okay. And that's that sort of, there's kind of that's the Swiss franc, an element of that Swiss franc strength, but it is kind of like, this is it's a case of, war on, war off, war on, war off. Are we going to get another war on before the next move down? Okay, that's the kind of world we're all living with when it comes to the dollar and it's against the major FX pairs.